Hello lovely Flosstube friends and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lauren, also known as StitchMAYnia, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. It is the 1st of May and I feel like I have so much to show you in today's episode. Not only do I of course have a big roundup of all my April stitching, but I have some big sort of plans for May to share with you. And I also have some lovely birthday bits to share with you. Although my birthday was back in February, I saw my lovely friend Susie at the Essex retreat in March, and she gave me a voucher for one of my favourite shops to buy kits from, which is Hobby Jobby. She knows that I am a fan, so she'd bought me a lovely voucher, which I managed to stack with a Hobby Jobby sale on some kits I had my eye on. So I got a lovely bit of haul to share with you as well, courtesy of Susie. So thank you for my belated birthday voucher, which I had real fun spending. A big hello to everyone that is new, because I have had several new subscribers since my last episode. A couple of people found me through my Mirabilia Fancy Lady Parade, which is now quite old, but I'm glad that you found me. And yes, I hope that you enjoy my regular Flosstubes. We are going to start with the stitching from the month of April. So if I just consult my book, because this is the most unorganised Flosstube episode ever. I've just returned from school sports day watching my two kids and I am sweaty. My freshly washed hair, as of last night, is now caked in sun cream and God knows what else. But we had, a fantastic sports day. So I've just come home, thrown the camera straight on because I thought I need to film this or it's not going to get done. But I've not looked at my book, I've not looked at my notes. So let's have a quick look. So I started the month of April with 28 whips and I have had 4 new starts and 2 finishes. And one of my new starts was also a finish. So that was a start and a finish. And then I finished one other thing and I've got 3 new things that you've not seen before. So that's where we're at. What does that make it? Can I do maths in my head? Let's see. So 28 starts, 29, 30, 31, 32 with my new starts. 28 whips, 4 new starts takes me to 32 and I've had 2 finishes. So I'm ending the month on 30 whips being carried forward into May. Let's start with the stitching then, because that is a good place to start, and we will have a look at my finishes first, so I better go and grab them. My first finish to share with you today is a whip that I brought forward from March, and it is of course a Wordy Bird. Yes, my channel and my Instagram have become Wordy Bird dominated, but I am just loving this series by Sweetwing Studio so much. I'm just getting the dog hair off it. So here we go. Here is my March finished piece. So this is Wordy Birds March. I'll give you a closer view. So we've got the lovely little bluebirds sitting aside their pot of gold. These nice flowers here. And then the wording states, "May nothing but happiness come through your door." So I'm very happy with how this has turned out. The fabric choice I am pleased with, although I do think like the lettering on the camera and on my photographs maybe doesn't stand out as much as I wished it would. It is readable and it's actually easier to read the white lettering in person than it is on camera or photograph. So in person, I'm pleased with it. It looks fine. My fabric choice for this was a Zweigart fabric with a very a light pale green background and just these small white polka dots. It is 32 count even weave. I am stitching all my Wordy Birds on different fabrics. Some are on linen, most are on even weave, but I am trying to stick to 32 count for all of them, just so that when they're all finished as a complete set of 12, they will all be the same size. So yes, this is Wordy Birds March. I stitched this, I think, with DMC, but I will just have a quick check. Yeah, this is entirely stitched in DMC. So that is my first finish. My lovely friend Gina, who I was having a bit of a texting catch up with a matter of a couple of days ago, I've been keeping her like in the loop with my Wordy Bird progress and like sending her little pictures here and there. And she said to me, Lauren, she was like, I've never seen you so committed to any sort of stitch along or project. And I agreed with her. I was like, there's something about these Wordy Birds that I am just absolutely loving. And yeah, I think it's the one sal that I've ever taken on. And obviously it's a 12-part sal, it's for a full year. And so far I'm doing really well. I am keeping up and I'm even getting ahead of myself, which you will see as this episode progresses. But that does bring me on to my second finish. So this was the new start that was also a finish. So I have put a few pictures on Instagram as I was progressing with this, but this is the first time you are seeing it on Flosstube. And it's already done. This is April's Wordy Bird. So again, the designer is Sweetwing Studio. Again, it's on a 32 count even weave, but this time it is on Sparkle Blue Smoke even weave from my StitchMAYnia shop. And this is all in DMC other than a single thread, which I had to sub to Royal Broidery because I didn't have the DMC in my box. And here it is. So I love this fabric. It is a sparkly fabric, and I believe that when I started stitching on this, I did start it on a Tuesday, so it also doubled up that not only was I getting progress on my Wordy Bird sal, but it fit the theme of Twinkle Tuesday when I started it, which was nice. So another lovely Wordy Birds piece, raindrops flowing, flowers growing, like clearly taking inspiration from the old April showers. Love the purples in this. Very pretty design. So we have two Wordy Bird finishes, and as I said, this one was done as a start and a finish all in the same month. I got it started and I just powered through it. So very pleased with that. So that is my two finishes. Let's have a look in my book and see what we should look at next, because I've not got all my whips out today. As I said, I'm a bit unorganised. So that is our two finishers. We then have we've got 3 new starts to look at and also 1 existing whip. So I'm going to go and dig out those 3 new starts and we'll look at those first, and then we'll look at my existing whip that I've carried forward from last month. So next up is another Wordy Bird. This was a new start for this month, and as I said, I'm a bit ahead of myself. So you've just seen the finishes for March and April. It is the 1st of May today, but the patterns are released by Sweetwing Studio sort of roughly a month in advance for people to kit and get ready. And since I had already finished my April Wordy Birds, I thought, why not get a start on the next one? So that is what I did. This is the beautiful pattern. So this is Wordy Birds for May, and it says life is the flower, love is the honey, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And I have made some really surprising progress on this. I cannot believe how much I've got done already, and we're only on the 1st of the month. So this is where I am at. I've got into a little bit of a routine with these now, so I sort of have a centre start, but then I navigate downwards as quickly as I can to reach the big bottom border that is on every pattern. That is a good chunk of the stitching. It usually accounts for roughly 30% of the whole design or thereabouts. Ooh, because it is like a full coverage border across the bottom. So I worked my way down to this, got that stitched, and then I started enjoying working my way back up to do the lettering. I've then done the 2 little honey pots, and I've made a start on the birds. So there's really not an awful lot left to do on this. There's obviously the birds to finish. I need to finish the motif in the middle here, and these beehives need some little bees buzzing around them. But yeah, there's not too much left to do. I am stitching this again on a 32 count even weave. This is in the colour Golden from my StitchMAYnia shop, although I don't think I have it in stock, but I don't think it's currently listed. I need to update the website. But yeah, I do like this fabric. It's a very nice neutral. I think it works really well. really well for this design. And I think this is all DMC again. Yes, all DMC with a couple of royal broideries and a random single CXC colour in this. I am, where possible, trying to do them like each design in one thread type. But where I have a colour missing or that I just can't find because it's probably in another project bag somewhere, I am just pulling a random couple of threads like from my other master sets of different brand if I need to. But there we have Wordy Birds May. I don't think it's going to take me too much longer to finish this, so this will be like a guaranteed finish for this month. And I do have to say that I am super excited for the next instalment. So we've only just started May, and yeah, I'm going to enjoy finishing this one, but I'm being spurred on further by the fact that the next release is already out and the June one is fabulous. I will pop a picture up on the screen. For those of you that are part of the Wordy Bird sale, you will have received this by email already. And some of you may well have seen it on the Sweet Wing Studio page. But for those of you that have missed it, look at this. It is beautiful. This is the June release. And I just love the flamingos, and I was very excited that on all of the designs so far, the birds have sort of been the same. Like, they've all been different colours, but they're the same sort of shape and style of bird. And this is the first pattern in the series that has deviated in that we have a lovely pair of flamingos, a completely different shaped bird. And not only that, this is the first design in the series that has leaned away from being symmetrical. So all the other designs, as you can see, and I've been stitching this sort of symmetrically as I go as well. I know that the lettering isn't symmetrical, but what I mean is like above the line where you have the birds and the motifs. So far, every pattern has been completely symmetrical in terms of the birds and the placement of items around them. But on the flamingo pattern, we actually have a deviation from that, and we've got the little third bird on there. Myself and Rosie from Rosie X Stitches were having a debate. Rosie was like, what is this random third bird? And I was like, I think it's a baby flamingo. And then I googled it and double checked, and the fact that it's charted in white and it's smaller, I was like, yes, it definitely must be a baby flamingo that's there in the picture, because baby flamingos don't get their pink colouring until they're like a couple of years old. So I was like, it's definitely a baby flamingo. So yeah, we've got 3 birds on the June pattern, and I cannot wait now to power through the May release and move on to June. I've already pulled out my threads for it. I've got my fabric, but I'm not allowing myself to start it until I've finished this, and I better get a move on because yeah, we will cover May plans, but my May plans do rely on being able to start that one rather soon. So this Wordy Bird needs finishing so I can move on to that one as part of my May plans. My next new start is not a Wordy Bird. So let's look at my first project that is not Wordy Bird related this episode. I'll just put that away. Try and keep some semblance of organisation here. So my next new start is a full coverage, and this is charted by myself as part of my shop offering. So this is available on my StitchMAYnia website as a pattern, and it is fully licensed. So I have artwork, license for the artwork for commercial use, not just for the charting of the pattern, but also I have had the needle minders made to go with it. So if I show you this needle minder, this is the pattern as well as my needle minder. I will pop a clearer image of the pattern on the screen because there was a bit of glare on my needle minder, but that is the pattern. So it is called Pricks Everywhere, and I just absolutely love it. I absolutely love the artwork. There is a whole series of these. Like I said, I will pop the full picture on the screen along with the designer name for the original artwork, because I do apologise that has flown out of my head, but I do love her work. She's got a lot of these sort of tarot card style artwork pieces, and I have got the license to chart quite a number of them. A few of them are already on my website and a few others I'm going to chart in the future. It was Sarah from StitchMAYnia Sarah that had me starting this. She's got the pattern, I've got the pattern, and we decided to do it together, and it is a biggie. Yes, it is a very, very large full coverage. If you see my fabric here, I'm not going to unroll it all, but it is very big. And when that is all rolled out, this piece will be the width of that fabric, just give or take a little bit of margin on each side. So it is going to be giant. It is very long, but I'm very excited. Oh no, wait, no, it's not that width. No, that's the width. I had it the wrong way around. That is the width of the whole piece. I think it's like a good, this piece must be like a good 70 centimeters wide, I think. And yeah, that is the length. That is the length of the piece. So now that I've got it the right way, this is my progress so far. It does not look like an awful lot, but obviously I'm starting in the top corner, and at the moment it is just all mostly white, a little bit of cream and black for that external border. So that is where I'm at. I don't think I'm even at 1% yet. And full coverage, if you've been following my channel or my stitching for a while on Instagram, you'll know that full coverage is really not my thing. It's not the thing I'm most confident stitching. Most of the patterns that I stitch are much smaller, so this is a very large undertaking for me, but I am excited. Yeah, hopefully I love the artwork enough that I am going to be motivated to continue with this piece. I don't know why I've stuck my needle in there. I think it's because I took my needle minder off to show you. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing with this. I have kitted this all up in Royal Broidery, so the entire thing is being stitched in Royal Broidery threads, and I'm not sure what am I using. I am using 20 count white Aida. So I did have quite a big debate over what to do this on, and I was discussing with Sarah. She ended up going for 18 count Aida, which is sort of her happy place for doing full coverage. She's done a lot more full coverage than me. And I went for a 20 count, so I've just got 20 count plain white. I have overlocked it because I've got a feeling that this project is going to be a very long one. I'm going to be working on this for some years, not months, and I didn't want my fabric to get all frayed. So there we are, this tiny bit of progress, and eventually it's going to cover this whole giant piece of fabric, and it will be big and fabulous. So that is pricks everywhere. Wrap her back up. Got, yeah, she's got a lot of colours in her, and I've not even bobbinated them all yet. So with this, like literally, I've been bobbinating colours as I use them. So I've got a giant bag of unbobbinated threads for this design, and as I'm going through the pattern and a colour is called for, I'm pulling it out of the bag, I'm bobbinating it, and then I'm using it. So that way I haven't had to sit and like bobbinate a whole box worth of threads in one sitting. I'm just doing it as I go. Quite happy with that approach for this. Like, I think kitting up a full coverage and then preparing all the threads is really daunting because there's just so many of them. I understand that some people will prefer to do it that way, take the time to kit up everything, but it seems to be working well for me so far that I'm just bobbinating each colour as I use it, and then I don't feel like I've had to sit there doing it for hours. I know that in reality it's probably more efficient to just get it all out of the way first, but like psychologically I feel like I'm wasting less stitching time if I'm doing it gradually. So that is pricks everywhere. My next and final new start for the month is the Sal that I mentioned to you in my previous Flosstube episode. So this is the Wings of Spring Sal. I will pop a picture on the screen. So this is designed by Mila at Pony Stitchers. You can find it on Instagram. And I was invited by Mila to join this Sal. She did provide the pattern to me free of charge, and yeah, so thank you, Mila. And it's definitely up my street though. I love all things nature. I love all the things that are animal inspired, and I was excited to join in. So I have made a little bit of progress, not a lot, but I will get this butterfly finished soon. Part 2 has already been released, and I do need to do a little bit of catching up, but I have made a really solid start. This butterfly is part 1, and you can see there's not too much left to do on it. So once this butterfly is finished, I can immediately move on to part 2, which is 2 motifs, I think, underneath. And yeah, I'm hoping to catch up with this soon. I am stitching this on a really pretty sort of green mottled fabric from my StitchMAYnia shop. It's one of my hand dyes, which typically I don't name because they tend to be one-off pieces, or I'll do like small dye batches where I have a few pieces the same colour, and then they won't ever be repeated quite as identically ever again. So yeah, this is just an unnamed hand dye. It is a 14 count, but it does come up slightly smaller just because it is hand dyed, so there is a bit of shrinkage, but originally this was 14 count. And I'm stitching this all with CXC thread. So I've pulled from my CXC older stash for this, and I'm just using a single DMC for a colour that was missing. So that is Wings of Spring. I feel like I'm doing a lot of sals at the moment. I've got the Wordy Birds on the go. Oh, that is my doorbell. Well, that was a definite first for me. This Flosstube was interrupted by the police turning up at my door. I was expecting to run downstairs and quickly retrieve a package, and instead there were 2 police officers at my door. Everything is fine. I'm not in any trouble. Yeah, apparently they'd been called out because a cat had been run over on the road outside. So I think whoever hit the cat had made a call to the police, and they came out. And then they were looking for the cat because it had run off, and they saw the cat sat on my garden fence. And they heard quite a lot of dogs, because we have a lot of dogs. So they literally knocked on the door to say there's an injured cat that has sort of run away from the scene, but it has been hit and it is injured, and we've just seen it on your fence, and it sounds like you have a lot of dogs. So Adam just went all around the back, all into the garden. We can't find the cat anywhere, so I don't think it actually jumped into our garden. It was on our fence. Yeah, hopefully it heard and saw all the dogs, because it's, you know, it's a lovely sunny day, the doors are open, the dogs are in and out, but the dogs started barking a lot when the doorbell rang, so hopefully said cat realised this is not a good place to come and sit. Yes, so that was very random. Do hope the cat is okay and that they find it, but yeah, we're fairly certain it's not in our garden, and that is probably a good thing for the cat. Moving on to more stitching. This is my last bit of April stitching to share with you. This is the Karen Carter collection pattern called Vegetable Patch. I showed this to you as a new start in my last Flosstube because I started this at the March Essex retreat as a new start. This was my progress last time you saw it. And I haven't done a whole lot, but I've done a little bit. So this is where we were, and if I can just orientate it the right way, I think it's this way. This is where we are now. So it is not a huge amount of progress, but I took this on holiday. So I've recently just returned from holiday, went away during the Easter holidays to Lanzarote, and I really thought that I might get some stitching time, and not while I was on the holiday. I knew that with it being all about the kids, we would not get any stitching time during the holiday itself, but I thought on the plane there and back it's about 3.5 to 4 hours. I thought, wow, I can get like 7 hours stitching done if I stitch pretty much all the way there and all the way back. That didn't happen, but I did get about half an hour. So yeah, this has literally just had about half an hour of extra stitching done on the plane. On the way there, I didn't do any on the way back. But this is where we are at. It's not looking like much yet, but this is just sort of like the shed at the back taking shape, some of the grass in front, and like the sandy dirt area where the chickens will be pecking round. So yes, progress is progress, whether it's small or significant. I am still plodding away at it. As I said, this is a kit, so it is a heritage craft kit. Designer is Karen Carter. I've got the even weave version, so I'm stitching this on plain even weave, and all the threads in this are DMC stranded cottons according to the packet information. So that is all of my actual stitching to share with you. So I did say I had some other bits to share with you, and I most definitely do. We will start off by having a look at the lovely belated birthday haul that I was able to treat myself to on Hobby Jobby, thanks to Susie, and her little birthday present gift that I got when I saw her in Essex. So here is my lovely birthday box. I got a lot of goodies because I took advantage of a sale that was on. So I'd had my voucher from Susie, and then I did put a little bit extra towards it because all these kits that were already in the sale were just too good to miss out on, especially because I had the voucher to go towards them, making them even cheaper. So yeah, the contribution that I had to put in to get all of these kits, I think I worked it out that I spent £3.50 per kit after Susie's present to me and the sale deductions. So that is quite amazing. Let's have a look what I got. And quite a few of these have been on my Hobby Jobby wish list for quite some time. And yeah, the fact that Susie gave me my little gift at the same time they had a sale on was just wonderful. This is a Luca S kit, and it is called Ladybug. And it is so cute. It is just these two little ladybirds, like very fluffy little ladybirds with their tiny spotty wings. And they've got like a heart-shaped bouquet of roses in between them. This is an anchor kit, so as in threads are anchor, and it's on 16 count Ada. As with all Luca S kits, everything is very neatly carded in the back. I do love how these kits are laid out. I've then got the Ladybugs again. This one is also called Ladybug, but it does have a different reference number. This one has a reference number on it as well, which I'm not going to read out. But the reference number is here on the front of the packet, and it's also called Ladybug. And it is the same two little ladybugs, but this time they are sat on top of a daisy. Same 16 count Ada, same threads, I assume. Doesn't actually say on this one. Oh no, it does. Anchor again, yeah. And again, just all neatly carded, fabric and threads all ready to go. So yeah, these two together make quite a cute set. Next, I have some pillows. So Luca S does a lot of beautiful pillow kits, of which I have quite a lot, and I've not started any. I really do need to start some. And this is my latest edition, so I always struggle to find their names. There doesn't seem to be a name on this kit. I'm not going to open it at this point to see if there's a name inside, but this is my cute little fox in a dress. So a lovely little fox. It's got all the materials in the back, and in addition to the supplied even weave, which I don't know what count it is, it's not clear on here, but in addition to the even weave and all the threads, this also has a blue piece of material for your backing fabric for making your pillow, and it also has a zip in there that matches that backing fabric. So that is my little fox pillow kit. Next is another fox pillow kit, but a bit different. So again, if I can't find names on them, I'm just going to show you the designs. I'm struggling to find names on any of these pillow kits. So this is my second fox pillow. This very dapper looking fox with a bow tie, and then this cute little fox next to him with her little hair bow. And this one, again, comes with everything to make a pillow, but this time the backing fabric is pink. And they do actually always put these big circles on the front to indicate the colour of the pillow backing, so that is useful. So yeah, that is pillow 2, again with even weave of some description. I'm not going to hunt for the counts because they're not displayed very clearly. Next is another pillow. I think everything left is a pillow. So again, it's on even weave. This one has pink backing. And this time we have a cute little kitten and a duck with a love heart between them. So yes, a pair of very unlikely but very cute companions. All neat in the back, ready to start. And then we have my last two pillows, which I will show you together at the same time because they kind of make a nice pair. And these have been on my wish list for quite some time. So we've got the two little pigs. So piggy number one is like a boy pig to my mind, in his little jacket, his scarf. He's wrapped up really warm and he's got his little sleigh with presents. Backing fabric of the pillow is red. And then piggy number two is the lady pig, and she's all dressed up warm for winter as well, and she's got a little stack of presents and letters in her hand. Again, this one has red backing fabric, I think. Oh no, blue. This one has blue backing fabric. But the actual even weave in both of these kits is the same for stitching on. I will just show you on this one because it's easier to see, but it is the iridescent, like opalescent, sparkly even weave in white. So yeah, both of these are on sparkle fabric. So that is my last two kits. So I'll just give you a quick preview as they all go back in the box. We've got piggy 1, piggy 2, number 3 is duck and kitten, number 4 is the two foxes, number 5 is the single fox, number 6 is Ladybugs number 1, and number 7 is Ladybugs number 2. So yes, I have added 7 rather lovely Luca S kits to my stash. Now I can finally put them away properly because I've been waiting to share them with you. So that is all of my haul. I don't think I've got any other haul to show you. It's just that little birthday splurge courtesy of Susie. So there's no other haul. I've not done any other shopping. I've been well behaved in the month of April. The last thing to do is talk you through my May plans, and it is May. So what does that mean, Stitchers? It means that potentially people are joining in Mania or some version of Mania. So I don't think that I have ever actually participated in StitchMAYnia as far back as memory serves. I don't think I have. I've seen other people do it in various forms. I think the most hardcore version of it is starting a brand new start for every single day of May. Now, I was never going to do that because last year I had a massive push on trying to get my whip count down. I wanted to get below 30, and I have managed to get below 30 and sort of stay there. So although sometimes I'll have a month where I have a little splurge of new starts, a bit like last month where I did have 4 new starts, you know, I also had 2 finishers. I've been trying to kind of keep to 30 as a maximum and actually get some things finished, not just start and end up with a million whips that are ongoing to try and then worry about storing. So yes, I was never going to do the all-in approach to a new start for every day. However, I wanted to do something. I think I have done Mermania in the past, where I've just stitched on mermaids, and I decided I didn't want to do that. I don't want to stitch on mermaids for the whole month, not when I've got various sales and things going on that don't fit that theme. I don't want to restrict myself to only stitching on mermaids this year for the month of May. I was chatting to Rosie at Rosie X Stitchers, and we were sort of deciding what else we could do. And we're doing sort of a sedate version of Mania, but for me it's enough, and for Rosie it's enough, and it will give us some of the fun of the new start excitement, but without the overwhelming feeling that will come with starting 30 new whips. So instead we are going to start a new start, I think for every, I want to say Sunday. I can't believe I've forgotten the day. Rosie will not be impressed with me. Basically, we looked on the calendar, and there's certain days in May where you have 4 of those days, and there's certain days where you have 5. And I'm pretty sure that Sunday has 5 Sundays in the month of May. So we decided, I think, to start a new one every Sunday. So 5 new starts for May. That is going to be our sedate version of Mania, but I think it's like realistic. You know, 1 start every single Sunday, that'll give me 5 new starts in a month. That's still a lot of new starts in a single month. It will be very exciting to get going on 5 projects, but yeah, it won't completely overwhelm me. So yes, that is our plan. And we have planned a little bit further than that. So I would like to show you my 5 intended new starts, and we have also put them in a bit of an order. So we have 2 projects that are going to be identical. So we're having identical projects for 2. We're having themed similar projects for 2. And then we're having 1 project completely free choice. So for start number 1, for the first Sunday of May, we are going to be starting Wordy Birds June. We're both signed up to the Wordy Birds sale, and we are both going to start the flamingo Wordy Bird pattern that I showed you earlier. So that is going to be my start number 1. Obviously pattern is on the screen as it is digital. And I've picked my fabric, which is just going to be this little bit of hand-dyed even weave that is like blue and white mottle. It is a Stitch Bunny shop piece, as you can see from the distinctive overlocking I always do. And I've chopped it because the Wordy Birds are only little, so I've just chopped a piece I had in half, and that is big enough for this design. And I've got my threads ready. All my flamingo threads are ready to go. I am using, I think, DMC for everything, and then I've just got a couple of, I think, Royal Broidery for my missing DMCs. So project 1 is kitted and ready to start very soon. And as I said, I really like to try and do 1 Wordy Bird at a time. So we are currently on May the 1st. It is a Thursday. I've got Friday and Saturday and what remains of today after I've sorted out editing this video to hopefully finish my other Wordy Bird, my May. And then when I start this on Sunday, I can start it guilt-free that my other Wordy Bird is already done. Fingers crossed. So that is new start 1 for Mania. My second start for Mania is going to be a mermaid. So the mermaid I've selected, and I don't know what mermaid Rosie has selected yet. I have forgotten. I'm sure that she has told me in WhatsApp, but I've forgotten. But yeah, we're not doing the same mermaid, but we are both doing mermaids of some description, mermaid themed whips. I have chosen a fancy lady style mermaid, and I have picked Cordelia by Bella Filipina. It is all still wrapped up in the package that I've got from Zarina at Hawkins Hobbies. There she is. I will pop a picture of her on the screen, pulled off the internet, just so you can see her clearer rather than through all this plastic. But yes, Cordelia is one of Drin's sort of newer designs. She's not the newest, but she is one of the more recent mermaid releases. And I absolutely love her. I fell in love with her the moment I saw her. I just love like her posing, the way that she is, the colours, everything. She is beautiful, and I've got the full kit. Other than fabric, everything is supplied in this little goodie bag from Zarina other than the fabric. So literally all I need to do is choose a fabric. I think I'm going to pick a 28 count for her. With a lot of Drin's designs, he does work with some larger beads, and I'm pretty sure there are some larger beads that I see rattling around in this material pack, and they do sit nicer on a 28 than a 32. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes to fit them on a 32. I have got other Bellas that I'm stitching on 32, and it is fine. But yeah, I just think that Bellas are sometimes a bit more comfortable on the 28. So I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to pick. Unless when I'm going through my 32 count stash, I find something that's just perfect for her and change my mind. But yes, all I need to pick for her is a piece of fabric. I would also just like to say, a bit off topic, because I've still got 3 May starts to show you, like planned starts, but just pulling out one of his patterns there and talking about Drin at Bella Filipina. I would just like to extend a few words of support for him here as a designer, because I think his designs are fantastic and great. I love them. And I know that the very recent Siren Sal, which I am a part of but have fallen disastrously behind on, I know that he has had a little bit of negativity on the final part of the Siren Sal being released. Like, all the parts have now been released, and some people were like a little bit vocal, but in quite a harsh way, about the fact that the rock in the design is basically an outline of a rock and it's not filled in. And some people seem very, very upset by that, to the point of making a real point of, yeah, expressing how cross they are about it. I'd just like to say from my perspective that a mystery sal is a mystery. Sometimes we join one and love it, sometimes we join one and we're disappointed, but we are taking a risk when we join a mystery sal. And for those that have kind of been disappointed that the rock wasn't filled in, I've already seen some people on Instagram who have decided to fill in the rock, and they're just doing like half stitch, like tent stitch, just to sort of dull down their fabric. It's mostly if you've chosen to use a brighter fabric, which I have. My fabric is like blue and pink and all over the place. And yeah, maybe if I'd seen the final design and knew that the rock wasn't going to be complete, I might have chosen a different fabric, but I didn't. I'm not going to change my fabric. I love the fabric that I picked, and I'm going to wait until I've finished. But when I finished it, if I feel that my rock needs filling in, I will just tent stitch and fill it in with one of the colours that is already used in the outlines of the rock, and that will just sort of dull down the colour of my fabric behind it, if I feel that that will look better. But yeah, I just think that it was a beautiful and wonderful sal, that Drin is a very talented designer, and I saw people complaining about the price of it. And again, like, you make the decision to purchase when you buy the pattern. And also, I'm not the best mathematician, but I mean, if you look at the price of a typical fancy lady mermaid, I think this sal was $45 to purchase, but then you've got 4 beautiful mermaids, and they are beautiful. Like, with the issue of the rock aside, there are 4 beautiful mermaids chartered in all their glory. $45 for 4 mermaids. Do you know, when you actually do the maths and split that down to sort of a per pattern price for 4 patterns, I don't really see that anyone can say that that is overpriced for 4 mermaids. So that is just my 2 cents. Those are my thoughts. I have loved watching everyone else do the sal, even though I've fallen disastrously behind myself, and I'm still excited to pick it back up and to finish it at some point. And when I get to the end, I'll decide what to do with my rock. But I've seen some other people that have done it on bright fabrics, and they've left it with the outline of the rock as it is, and it still looks fabulous. So I might just save myself the effort. I will see when it's done. Anyway, back to my other bits to show you. So we have 3 other projects that I intend to start for Mania. Quick recap, because I did get sidetracked. Start number 1 for Mania will be Wordy Birds June. Start number 2 will be my Bella Filipina mermaid Cordelia. Start number 3, I don't have here. So start number 3 is also an identical start for myself and Rosie. So we are both going to stitch the Animal Collectives pattern by Doreen Jones that is in the most recent release of Cross Stitcher magazine. I'll pop a picture on the screen because I get the Readerly online copies of Cross Stitcher magazine through the Readerly app. So I'll just pop it on the screen, but it is a beautiful pattern of really cute animals, and it's got the names on it for like that collective of animals. And I just thought that was cute, it was interesting, and as soon as I saw it released in the magazine, I sent a message to Rosie. This was quite a bit before we started planning what we're doing for Mania, and we both loved it and both said we were going to stitch it and we were going to sal it. Yes, we're now not having a sal as such, but we're having a joint start on our 3rd Sunday of May. So that is going to be the Animal Collectives. This is the only one that I haven't kitted yet. It's not organised. I've not picked fabric, I've not picked threads, but we're not starting it until the 3rd Sunday in May. So I do have a little bit of time to get all my stuff ready for that one. My start number 4, I also don't have here. So my start number 4 is a pattern with a strawberry theme. So Rosie and I are both going to start strawberry themed patterns, and my pick for my strawberry themed pattern is the Strawberry Bunny by Svetlana Sikar. I hope that I've pronounced that correctly. She is a wonderful designer. I have a lot of her patterns that I've collected over the years, and I love, like, they're always really detailed, really beautiful, but they're never too overly large. So I thought this is perfect. I love the little bunny, like dressed in her strawberry costume. There is a whole series of all these different bunnies. I'm pretty sure I've got the unicorn bunny, which was a special release at the time that you could only buy from like one certain place, but most of them are available on Svetlana's Etsy store. Pretty sure she still sells on Etsy. But yeah, over the years, I've acquired various bunny patterns. The strawberry bunny is one of them, and I thought it just really fits nicely with heading into summer. So that is going to be, yeah, my strawberry start. I have got the threads organised for this, and they are CXC because I kitted this up literally years ago. Before I knew Royal Broidery existed, before I discovered those threads, I had already kitted it in CXC threads, keen to start it, but I never picked fabric and I never actually started it. So I'm all good to go with threads on this one. All I need to do is pick a fabric, which will be easy. I will just rummage in my stash, find something. I think I could literally stick her on anything. So yes, there will just be a last minute fabric choice to make for her, and then I will start Strawberry Bunny. For the last Sunday of Mania, myself and Rosie are having free choice. So I am picking something completely random. She is picking something completely random. We're not doing the same project and they are not following the same theme. And my pick was a little Mill Hill kit, one of the buttons and beads kits that I have in my stash that I need to start, and it is the Chicks Hotel. So this is Mill Hill Chicks Hotel. It's a very cute pattern. It's got the chicken button up here, which you can see here in the back. Obviously, it's got all the supplies in here for everything. Oh, and I do love this about buying patterns from Zarina. I've just noticed a pink slip in the back of my packet. And Zarina is very good at Hawkins Hobbies. When there is an amendment to a pattern that she sells or a kit that she sells and she knows it's been amended, she always sticks in a little kit correction slip, which I love. So yes, there is a correction in this kit. It says there's a certain symbol that's wrong in the pattern, and yeah, the correction is written on this pink slip. Yeah, that is a really nice touch. When buying things from Zarina, sometimes they have these little notes in them, and I am super grateful because yeah, it lets me know that there is something I need to change. There's also a note in here that the little chicken button in my packet is a slightly different variant from the chicken button on the model stitch, but it's still a very cute chicken. So yeah, that is my choice number 5 for Mania, and I cannot wait to start. So that is all my stitching, all my haul, all my May plans. Yeah, that is like my only plan for May, is to have those starts, enjoy a little bit of the Mania fun without going too crazy. I will be watching on Instagram and on Flosstube to see what other people are doing. I have been a bit behind. I feel like I say that all the time. I have been a bit behind with my Flosstube viewing. I am slowly catching up. I watched a lovely episode of Emma X stitching a couple of nights ago. That was really enjoyable. So that was nice. I've got plenty of others bookmarked to catch up on soon. Yeah, so the only thing left really is a little bit of life update for those of you that want to hang around. For those of you that were only here for the stitching, I will see you next time. So, life update wise, I have had a busy month. As I said, it involved a holiday. So myself and the kids jetted off on a plane to Lanzarote. We met up with my parents there at a lovely hotel called the Rubicon. It's the Rubicon Palace Hotel. Now, I previously stayed there, but not since I was about 15, 16 years old. I went a couple of times with my mum and dad when I was younger. We used to be a big fan of Lanzarote when I was a child. I was very lucky in that we did quite a lot of travel when I was growing up. We went to a lot of different places, but in between going to other destinations, we would visit Lanzarote typically twice a year, and we would always stay in the same hotel, which was called the Tamanavaya Palace. And we tried to rebook that. My mum and dad tried to rebook that specific hotel to go to with the kids. It was my kids' first time going to Lanzarote, and we wanted to do a bit of a nostalgia trip, going back to our favourite hotel that we used to go to so often when I was little. But sadly, since I was a child, they have made that particular hotel adults only. So it is now a quiet and tranquil paradise for adult only guests, and nobody under the age of 18 may go there, which is why we booked the Rubicon, which we'd also stayed at a couple of times previously when I was younger. It is a sister hotel to our favourite hotel, and the kids loved it. It was really geared up for them. It had the kids club, which we didn't they didn't go in the kids club much, but they had like 45-minute sessions at the kids club, like 3 45-minute sessions in the morning and 3 45-minute sessions in the afternoon. And I think like on 3 of the days there were sessions that they were interested in that sounded fun to them. Like one of them was a magic show, one of them was like a water gun and water balloon fight session. And on another day it was like Easter crafting, because we were there over Easter. So yeah, on various days they toddled off to the kids club. I dropped them off there, signed them in, and they had like 45 minutes of fun and I had 45 minutes of peace. But the majority of the time we were together. Adam was not with us because of our dogs, who are a big commitment. Adam did stay at home, unfortunately. That is one thing that Adam and I really dislike about our job with breeding dogs and having the responsibility of so many dogs. We very rarely get to go away anywhere as a couple or as a complete family. If I travel abroad, I tend to go with the kids and my mum and dad, more so that the kids can enjoy those holiday experiences. Although it's nice obviously for me to have a holiday as well, but I wish that we could go as a complete family. We just can't. It's too much of a responsibility to get somebody to look after all the dogs that we have, and also just like a worry on your mind. You have to really be able to trust someone. And yeah, so Adam stayed at home with the dogs. We went away. We had a lovely time, really enjoyable. We saw lots of things. We visited like a zoo / aqua park, which was really fun. The kids loved that. We went on some really big slides, which I don't have any pictures of because I was on the slides. My mum took a few videos, I think. But yeah, the videos weren't particularly clear, but we got some nice photographs of like looking at all the animals and things like that. I'll pop a few of those in. Yeah, and most of the time we were just at the hotel enjoying the pools. There was a kiddie pool at the hotel itself with like a pirate ship style slide set up. They loved that. We went to the beach one day. There's a little beach very close to the hotel, just outside, but there's a bigger beach if you walk for about 20-25 minutes. So we did do that walk to the bigger beach the one day, and they loved that. Yeah, they were busy hunting for treasure and finding like little rocks and broken pieces of shiny shell and stuff, but yeah, it kept them very entertained. They loved it. Yeah, and we just had an all-around really lovely trip. I got a little bit of colour. Didn't actually spend that much time in the sun. The weather was absolutely glorious, but a lot of the time I was on a sunbed under an umbrella for a bit of shade with just eyes on the pool. And my mum was absolutely amazing on the holiday. Like, my mum's very keen on the pool safety and all that as well. So if the kids were in the pool, even if I was looking at them, even if my dad was looking at them, my mum was stood on the pool side, like at all times, staring at them to make sure they were safe. So yeah, big thanks to my mum if she's watching. Like, I did get a little bit of relaxation and downtime because she was very on it with making sure the kids were safe at all times. So yeah, I had a great holiday. It was lovely. I don't know when we'll go on another one. Yeah, I tend to feel guilty for going away abroad on too many trips with the kids because Adam ends up at home. So yeah, I don't know when we'll go again, but we really did enjoy it and make the most of the days that we were there. In other news, there are currently puppies being born in my house as we speak. So I've been at school sports day this morning, getting very hot, sweaty and bothered, even though I was not the one running the races. The school big playing field that sports day's on has zero shade, and I mean zero. It is just a wide open space. The sun has been belting down, glorious weather, which I'm not complaining about. But yeah, when you're sat out there with no option for shade, I think I was sat there from 9:30 till midday watching sports day. Yeah, I am like a sweaty mess. May have a shower when this is done. But yes, I went to sports day. Adam stayed home because he was on doggy watch because we thought one of our girls was very imminent to give birth. And sure enough, I arrived home to an active birth. So last time I went downstairs to check, we had 2 babies born. Yeah, there might be a third by the time I switch this camera off. I am going to go down and stick my head in the room, but Adam's got that all under control. So yeah, we're having babies born today. Trying to think of anything else exciting to share with you. That's it really. The rest of the kids' holidays, because it was a long holiday and we went to Lanzarote for 6 days. So it was a 2-week long holiday. We had plenty of time at home as well as a family, sort of before and after the holiday. Lots of trips out to various places, squeezed in like a play date with some friends, did some Easter trips to various places that had Easter activities going on. We had a lot of fun. We've been to the safari park that we've got passes for a couple of times. Yes, the kids have had a wonderful, wonderful holiday. They actually had a wonderful sports day as well. I forgot to say when I was talking about sports day that Daisy won the long distance race, like where they do laps of the actual field. She won the long distance for her year group for the girls, because the girls and boys run separately. So she won the long distance for the girls. She also won the sprint for the girls, and that was like the 2 main races they did, was the long distance run and the sprint run. She placed first in both. I know it's not about winning, it is about taking part, but it also does feel good for her to win. So I'm super proud of her, and yeah, she just did amazing. And compared to sports day last year, when she was in year 1, like she fell over in one of her races, and yeah, she was really upset last sports day because she fell, and yeah, I was just really pleased that not only did she not fall over this year, but she absolutely like smashed it. And did amazing. She won both of the big main races, and then I think she placed second in like the little beanbag race that they did. And then she just had a lot of fun in like the relays and the other fun races they do. So yeah, and Hadley, it was his first sports day because he's in reception. So it was his first introduction to sports day. And he has been telling me for weeks and weeks and weeks while they've been practicing for sports day that Henry in his class is super fast and that nobody can beat Henry. And Henry is like this tiny little boy. He's so small in stature, but he is amazingly fast at running. So it was no surprise to everyone that Henry placed first in the long distance and in the sprint, but Hadley came second in both. And I think that he will be really proud of himself for that. I'm really proud of him because basically Henry is just an amazing sprinter, amazing runner. Nobody can beat him in his year group. So the best that anybody else could hope for was second place, and Hadley placed second in both of those races. So yeah, I'm super proud of him, and I'm sure he'll be super proud of himself and very pleased. And again, he had a lot of fun. I think his relay team placed second in their little relay race. And in his beanbag throw thing, he did a really good throw, but sadly in the wrong direction. So they were supposed to throw their beanbag forward and see how far it could get, and then they had to go and stand by the beanbag, and they like decided who has thrown it the furthest. Hadley actually did an awesome throw, and based on distance, he probably would have been the winner, except he threw it in the wrong direction. So instead of throwing the bag forward in a straight line, he threw it sideways, and it like just flew a really long way and landed. But yeah, it didn't get that forward projection. It went sideways. So sadly, he did not win, but he does have a good throwing arm on him. We just need to work on the direction of his throws. But yeah, I had fun. I had real good fun at sports day. It was lovely to see them having so much fun with all their friends. I had a catch up with a couple of the mums that I get on with, so that was really nice. That is it, I think. That is all my life update. That is everything going on in the world of Lauren right now. Before I go, I will just say a little bit more about the Bella Filipina debate that I touched on during the episode. So I would just like to say, like in general, I think like the cross-stitching community in space is really positive, really supporting, and everyone is usually so lovely. And I do understand disappointment, like when we, are excited to take part in something like a SAL, and then we're disappointed with the pattern, or like we buy a mystery of some kind from any shop that's stitching related, and then we're disappointed with the mystery. I do understand disappointment, and I do understand not being happy with something you've purchased and maybe having some purchase regret. I have had purchase regret, not often because I don't tend to buy many mysteries, but I previously did buy a mystery box from a certain place and I was really disappointed with the pattern in it. And I did say so on my Flosstube, because I try and be honest about everything on my Flosstube, and I did express disappointment that for me, I didn't think that the pattern and kit I received was the value that I paid. But I did also acknowledge in the same breath that it was a mystery box, that I took the risk on buying it. And I didn't say I was going to boycott the designer or the company. Do you know, I have referenced several patterns of theirs and things that I have really liked since that point. And it was just that one item. It wasn't for me. I expressed my disappointment and said, you know, for me, it didn't live up to my expectation. And I thought it was a bit overpriced for what I received, but that was on me. It was my purchase. And that maybe I would steer away from their mystery offerings in the future. But like I said, there's been plenty of things since then of theirs that I have liked and that I have bought. I do think that it's a little bit unkind with particular reference to Drin. I can't help having seen things where people have actually said, you know, they're so cross with him for not charting the inside of this rock pattern, that they are going to boycott his future things. They're not going to buy anything from him in the future, and they don't even feel like stitching on things that they're already midway through because they're designed by him. And I just think that is a little bit unkind in a space that is usually so friendly. And the way I look at it, if you've already bought things from a particular designer and you've loved them enough to start stitching them and progress with them, like, it just seems crazy to me to like actively boycott someone because you're annoyed that a mystery pattern of theirs didn't quite live up to what you hoped it to be. Yeah, I just think that everybody should just try to be nice and try to be kind. And like I said, when we buy a mystery, it's a mystery. That's supposed to be part of the fun of it. And I think that like most of the designers that offer mystery sales, you know, they're all awesome designers. And usually we're all very happy with the final sale. There's so many mystery sales these days. Like I know that every time Lola Crow does one, she seems to like knock it out of the park. There's so many others. And it is really fun to stitch in a group and do a sale. But yes, I'm going to stop harping on, but I just wanted to offer some support on my channel to Drin on my little corner of Flosstube and just say that I think he's a great designer. I think he smashed it with the siren sale. It was amazing, beautiful. The 4 mermaids were beautifully designed. I have 0 complaints, and if the rock needs to be filled, I will fill it. And to me, it's no biggie. I'm sure that there's plenty of other people who feel the same as I do. We are all entitled to our opinion, but I just think if we've got something really unkind to say, maybe don't shout about it quite as loudly when really it's not the end of the world for you to have to maybe fill in a little bit of blank space that you don't want to be blank. I've said my piece again. I just felt really bad for Drin, because I know that would have taken a long time to design that piece, and it must be very soul destroying to have people respond in a really negative way. So yeah, that is why I just wanted to take a little bit of time on this episode to express my support, and that I think he's done a great job. I will see you all maybe in the middle of May for a bit of a mania update on how I am doing, but if it is a hectic month, which it very well may be with new puppies in the house, there is a chance that I will just do an end of month roundup at the very end of the month, the same as I've done with this month. Yeah, that may happen. I may just do an end of May roundup. If that is the case, I may try and squeeze in a Flosstube extra of some kind if I have time or if I have a good idea. I did watch a little bit. I'm not quite at the end of it yet, even though it was a short episode. I got sidetracked. I have started watching the unicorn episode that has recently been filmed by Lindsay at Blushing Pink Stitches, and she has filmed like a really fun little extra showing things that she has like really high on her wish list, i.e. her unicorn patterns or kits. And I thought that was quite a nice idea. So yes, maybe I will jump on Lindsay's bandwagon and show you some of the patterns that I would most like to have but don't currently have. Or maybe I'll do something else, or maybe I'll just see you at the end of May. Currently I'm not sure, but in any case it will be a maximum of 4 weeks until my next Flosstube check-in. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoy the wonderful weather. If you're also having wonderful weather where you are, I hope that you're getting plenty of stitching time, and take care everyone. Happy stitching. See you next time. Bye.